I, 29F, called out my friend, 31F, for being overly friendly with my boyfriend, 28M. I have known my best friend for about 2 years. Over the past few months, I have picked up on some weird vibes towards my boyfriend. I think she's either attracted to him, or she's lonely and craving a connection with a good man, thus trying to fulfill that need occasionally by seeking my man's attention in odd, innocent ways. I've been dating my boyfriend for about 7 months. He is the love of my life, and this is the best relationship I have ever been in. He moved in with me a few days ago. During the course of my relationship, the three of us have hung out together a couple of times, but not frequently. My friend has traveled a lot this year and been out of town for most of the year. Most recently, the three of us made plans to meet up, and we were talking about it on a group chat. On the day of, my boyfriend and I ended up canceling because we were so tired from running around the day before. The following day, as my boyfriend and I were hanging out, he mentioned to me that my friend had just texted him. He was sitting next to me and showed me the message. She told him that she was kinda sad that she didn't get to see him the day before, and asked how he was doing, and said that she heard that he had moved in. Honestly, this rubbed me the wrong way, and I brought it up to her that same day. I said I felt weird about her messaging him individually saying she was sad she didn't get to see him, not, you guys, and I also mentioned to her about a previous comment she had made to me while she and I were traveling together in May. My boyfriend had texted her to ask how we were doing. I didn't have my phone at that moment, and she had gotten all excited about it, talking about how sweet my boyfriend was, and telling me, I know he's your boyfriend, but it's just nice to have attention from a guy. I told her that that comment had stuck with me and that I valued her friendship but wanted to be honest about some things that made me uncomfortable. She said that she had messaged him because he had been the only one who seemed excited about the event, and that I hadn't been very responsive, which is true. I had been running around and driving that day, but I did eventually respond. She then basically said that she was glad I told her how I felt, but that it hurt because she had been nothing but supportive of our relationship and would never let anything happen to our relationship because of her. She said that she had a lot of male friends who also seek a friend and outlet or female perspective, and to think that this is anything but that really sucks. She also said that she's feeling a distance from me and that she hadn't heard from me in a few days, and that ever since my boyfriend and I have gotten more serious and moved in together, she doesn't see me or hear from me as much. Mind you, she's been traveling for months straight since May and has only been back in town for 2 weeks. In any case, I talked it over with my boyfriend, and he says that even though he had initially thought it was just my friend being friendly, after talking about it he completely sees my side of things, stating that if his friends made the same type of comments with me, he'd be uncomfortable too. I know very well that on his side, he's just being friendly with no ulterior motives and responding when, if she reaches out, knowing she's my bestie. Then we talked about other things that have been said. A while back, my friend initiated a conversation with my boyfriend, late at night, about his philosophy on love. I remember hearing about this from my boyfriend as it was happening, and feeling weird about it, but brushing it off as my friend being her friendly, quirky self. And the most interesting one, my boyfriend told me of a time my friend went out to a bar with 2 other friends, and sent my boyfriend a picture of herself with the 2 other friends, late at night. My friend had told him, someone is missing from this picture. My boyfriend had said, yeah, 2 people are missing. Meaning of course, him and myself. And my friend had said, so and so, other friend, said you'd know where we are. And it's you. You are missing. This situation makes me feel sick. On one hand, I question whether I'm looking into things too much. On the other hand, I personally wouldn't behave this way about my friend's boyfriend. Something doesn't sit right with me, especially with the bar picture comment. And now I feel stupid for trusting her, telling her details about my relationship, and I feel weirdly heartbroken. Insight, advice is appreciated. How do I salvage this situation? Or is this someone I've misjudged and should stay away from? I find this very inappropriate. I am good friends with my buddy's wife, but I make sure when I text her it's in a group with him as well. I make sure that anything I say and do doesn't get misinterpreted. She's not your friend, just a jealous person who wants to be you. She wants your BF. 1. Maybe she likes him. 2. She wants to prove that she's better than you. You both should block her. No excuses, she don't deserve it because she knows exactly what she's doing. Just that last bit alone about her sending a pic of herself shows she's into him. She's being disrespectful. I'd distance myself from her. She is definitely not your best friend. I would not trust her from what you have posted. When you're getting a gut feeling you should listen. She's way inappropriate and trying to mislead you. She's after your man. Period. This is not the friend you think she is. My husband, 39 male, of 11 years is living his best life and I'm, 42 female, jealous. We have been together for almost 20 years and have one child. I know he loves me very much and feels so upset if I am struggling in any way, which is also kind of a problem. My husband has 2 careers, both pay well. One is a stable job with pension and benefits, the other is as a famous musician. I did have a successful career as well as a fun, creative side thing, but it became harder and harder to do either around my husband's schedule. I did have a sitter for our child and made that work for years, but she moved away. I don't have any family and my friends are great, but everyone is busy. They could watch my child here and there, but nothing steady. Why can't I hire another sitter to do my fun creative evening thing? Well, like I mentioned, my husband is famous. I have caught new people in our home taking sneaky photos. I'd worry someone might go through our private things. I also know my child misses their dad when he is away and would feel bad leaving them. So I stopped my side thing. I used to make my work schedule around his, but it was hard working and being a single parent when he is away, and when he was home, he wanted us to spend time together. I also made a lot less money that he did and my career caused more stress, so I have stopped working. So my husband tours the world and gets to eat at nice restaurants, stay at nice hotels, sightsee and play shows for thousands of adoring fans. We sometimes come with him, but our child is in school. His band is lovely to us, but I also don't want to be tag-alongs. Some tours are better than others to have us around. There is also the added dynamic of women wanting him, throwing themselves on him right in front of me. He shows no interest in them and does make me feel desired. But there have even been some friends that have acted weird with him recently and I've had to let those friendships die. We make enough money so that I don't have to work, but not the kind that would pay for, say, a tutor so we could come on tour. And he still needs to keep his other job, which he also loves. I know he is attracted to interesting women and I used to be one. I don't have much to say these days. I have domestic hobbies and can talk about them, but they aren't shared. I can talk about bills and household things. We've been together long enough that he's heard all my old stories. He's doing all these cool things and experiencing so much. I know he would quit it all if he thought he was going to lose me, he has said so. But he loves his careers, I could never do that. I just feel like my years are passing. Interesting opportunities have come and gone for me. I do still have creative juices in me, but I think I'll have to wait years before I get the chance to focus on me, and by then I fear I'll just be so boring and dried up. Is there something I'm missing that I can do here? I love my family, but like I'm just existing to help my husband and child have these nice, full lives. Side question. How does his day job career jive with his fame? Can he be that productive if he's famous? There are agencies where famous people can hire trusted household help. Look into those and find a sitter. Good creative writing exercise. This post is so bud. I think you need to find some work that will allow you to go on tour if you want to see the world with him. You can homeschool your child. Have you talked to a therapist about this? Husband of 9 years, 44M. Who had affair keeps delaying a job switch, I'm 42F. Back in February of 2022, I caught my husband having an emotional affair with a coworker. It had been going on since at least September of 2021, though I suspect longer. I caught him twice more, the third time being mid-July of 2022. I told him that's it, he gets a new job and blocks her everywhere, or we decide how to divide everything up and go our separate ways. He agreed to do so, told his boss he wanted a transfer. We went to counseling. Things are definitely better with our relationship. I haven't caught anything else, but he's still at that job. Somewhere in there his boss left, and he never told his new boss about wanting to transfer. He also decided that there's only one other location within the company that he'd be willing to transfer to. A few weeks ago, 1 year after he made the promise, I told him it's now or never. We can't move forward as long as I know you're with her every day, even if the affair is over, and I really do think it is. We had a huge fight, but the next morning he agreed to turn in his notice on August 1st, today. It's 3 a.m., so it hasn't happened yet, but last night he told me he's going to give them a 1-month notice instead of 2 weeks, because he doesn't want to leave his friends stretched so thin. At the time he said it, I just said, at least it's finally happening. The reason I'm awake at 3 a.m. is because this thought came into my head while sleeping, and my eyes popped wide open and will not close again. He cares more about making sure his friends, her included, are taken care of for 2 extra weeks, even though it's just going to give me 2 extra weeks of stress and anxiety? So what's happening here? I gave him an inch and he took a mile, yes. Shame on me for giving him this much time and this many chances, I know. But am I just seeing everything he does as a personal attack on me now? Or can he just really not let her go? She's married with a kid, by the way. How do I handle this latest stall? Is it just a tactic, or is he really trying to not burn bridges with his career? This has to end, and it will, one way or another. I do not want a divorce, but I can't deal with this any longer. Stop clowning yourself and break up. You have been cheated on. He is not respecting you. Time to say goodbye. Just give him a second, third, fourth chance. I'm sure he's learned his lesson. If this sounds ridiculous to you, then you have some serious reflecting to do, because that's the logic you're following if you stay. You've been begging him to choose you for over a year. How many times does he need to show you that you aren't the priority? There's a reason for the saying, actions speak louder than words. Yeah, there is only one friend he is worried about. Divorce or continue being disrespected, those are your only 2 options. You can't stop him cheating, nor does he love you. I, 24F, am no longer in love with my husband, 29M. My husband and I have been together 6 years, married for 2. Shotgun backyard wedding because we unexpectedly got pregnant right after getting engaged and felt it was the right thing to do with having a 6-month-old. After having the baby, I started to feel resentment towards him, and it's only grown stronger. I no longer have any feelings towards him and feel uncomfortable when he touches me or anything. There is no pleasure during intimacy, and that really bothers me. I've tried communicating that to him and nothing changes. I feel that's a big factor. I find myself daydreaming about being with other people and being free of a marriage I'm not happy in. We now have 2 children whom I love more than anything, but I want them to have a happy mom. I recently went on a trip and talked to a guy at the bar. We exchanged numbers, but I have not responded to any of his messages because I'm so conflicted with my feelings. I want to answer, but my morals deter me from doing so. I'm in therapy currently to try to heal whatever is going on with me. I guess I'm just at a loss for what I can do to fix what is going on, and hoping there's others who have been in my situation. I was definitely not ready to get married or have a child when I did. He is an amazing person, great husband, loyal, respectful, and an amazing father. I just feel that he isn't my soulmate. What is the right thing to do here? Editing to add that I got pregnant at 20 and he was 25. Also editing to add that I'm a therapist myself, so I practice a ton of self-care, and seeing my own therapist is beneficial. What did you get resentful about after you got married? Was the resentment fairly placed on him, or should it have been placed elsewhere? The right thing to do is sit down with your husband and come to some type of agreement to end the marriage. You can't stay in something if you're not happy, and coming from someone that grew up with parents that should have divorced your kids will notice this. Before you do something to make the situation worse, you need to decide what you want so that you are happy. You need to tell your husband that the thrill is gone and you want a divorce. Do not message or call the bar guy, because infidelity will be extremely hurtful to your husband and is not a good start to a new relationship. Divorce and go enjoy your life. It seems like getting pregnant young kind of trapped you. It's been 6 years now, and it's clear you want more out of life than what he can offer. Luckily, you're extremely young still. Yeah, this is why you don't get married young. It takes years to get to know someone. Don't use the kid as an excuse to stay together either. It's better for the kid if they see that their parents handle their disagreements amicably and broke up in a civil fashion. That will give them the example for the future to emulate. On the converse side, if you cheat with the other guy, the child will see that as normal. So ball is in your court.